So not too long ago, I did a video on 10 affordable designer fragrances that I personally think will crush some of the most expensive niche fragrances out there. The reason why I did that video is because, one, primarily, while I do have a lot of niche fragrances, the bulk majority of what I actually wear are designers. I find a lot of enjoyment out of them. I like the ease of use. I just really prefer them and I lean in that direction most times. And the second reason is because I know a lot of you guys are trying to not go crazy and you don't have the luxury of receiving free niche fragrances as a reviewer or a YouTuber or influencer or Instagrammer or whatever it may be. You guys actually have to purchase your things. And so it's easy to be influenced by people who are getting free luxury products and raving about them, even though they're not buying them. So if you guys are on a budget and you want to smell amazing and you kind of want to have a little bit of that luxurious niche feeling without spending that type of money, this video is going to be for you, and I encourage you to check out my first video. This time we're doing it again, 10 new fragrances. We're keeping it affordable. You guys are going to love these. And so in order for these to be affordable, you do need to be shopping at discounters. So I will link these down below to discounters so you can get them at prices that aren't overly crazy for the most part here. Also, I have a mailing list you can sign up to, along with checking my community tab where I post deals all the time, every day. Rare stuff comes into stock, I post about it. Something like La Nuit de l'Homme Bleu Electrique recently came into stock, gone in like 15 or 20 minutes after I posted about it. So it's things like that where you want to make sure you're checking into the community tab and getting on that mailing list. It's completely free, and that way you can get some rare stuff as well. I want to get things started off with Valentino Uomo Noir Absolu Oud Essence. So this one's always kind of a tongue twister here, but that's the official name, and you can see Oud Essence on the top of the atomizer right there. Nice little detail. Still very much the Uomo bottle that we all know, but a little bit of a different twist. It's got oud, leather, and sandalwood here in this one, so pretty not so surprising note breakdown given the name of this one. And generally, the Noir Absolu line, there's 3 of them in total. Another one is a woman's fragrance. They're kind of based around sandalwood primarily. However, this one has sandalwood with a lot of oud as well. Silky, creamy, and smooth. The oud giving it a little bit of a more texture, a little bit more punch to kind of break up some of that smoothness, and then some leather to give it a little bit more of a masculine feel. Ultimately, this one is going to be a scent that maybe gives you a little bit more of that niche feeling and that niche approach in terms of being something that could be more challenging and more interesting, but you're not paying a super crazy price. Generally, this is around $100. Now, say $100 is a bit too steep for you, but you still want to have something that could be a little bit of a challenge, something that's going to set you apart, something that has great quality, and you have $35 to spend. Yes, $35. Then I would recommend you put your money into this right here. Bentley for Men Intense, with a disclaimer that I always like to give. This is going to be different, like I said, and different in a way of being very smoky, very boozy, very woody, and very masculine in the traditional sense. This is not a blue scent. This isn't a freshie. This isn't an aquatic. It's not a new style of sweet scent with a bunch of tonka bean and vanilla. This is going to be more mature, and you younger guys out there, be careful. Personally, I have no problem wearing this. I love this stuff, as you can probably tell. I just think it's great. You know, for the price, I can't see any reason why you shouldn't check this out if you're into this sort of thing. Some people say it smells like a church. Some people say it smells like their grandpa. Again, it's going back to the fact that this is going to be more masculine. However, for the price, $30, $35, somewhere around in there, you are getting a very unique product that smells amazing, has great performance, great quality. There's just so much to go on about Bentley for Men Intense that I've already covered, so look into this one. Now we're moving up to around $53, $55, 100 mil, somewhere around in that range. Mercedes-Benz Club Black. So going from one car brand to another. And you know, people see these and they're luxurious car brands, and so oftentimes people will immediately think, oh, the fragrances have to be really good. And that's the case with these two, but that isn't always the case. There are some car brand fragrances out there that maybe aren't as good. However, this one here is one of the ones that is very good, just like the Bentley. Now, this has vanilla, benzoin, ambroxan. This is for vanilla lovers, and that's the reason why I love it, because I'm a big fan of the note, and that's all you get out of this pretty much. A nice creamy vanilla, a nice dusty kind of powdery benzoin, a little bit of a ambroxan sparkle. You know, it's a really well blended, well thought out scent for the price point. You know, it's not going to really be something that people like if you're not into sweeter fragrances, if you're not into vanilla scents in particular. But, you know, if you're able to kind of have a wide variety of different types of scents that you like, you know, you can appreciate the freshies, you can appreciate the sweet ones, then this would be something you should check out. It's a great way to, again, add variety to your collection. Kind of following a similar path, I suppose, Gentleman Eau de Parfum Reserve Privé. Now, it's important to note here with these selections, being that we are in wintertime, my picks are going to be trending in the winter direction. That's why the bulk majority of this list are going to be sweeter scents right now. If I were to be doing this list in the spring and summer, there would be a lot more freshies in here. Maybe I'll bring this back when it's warm and we'll do it over. Now, there are a couple freshies in here, but you kind of see the trend. That's because this is what most of us are probably going to be wearing right now. Now, this one has whiskey, it has chestnut, it has a ton of iris. It's drop dead gorgeous. This flanker is so well done. It's that Gentleman Eau de Parfum DNA, the sweet iris, with a booziness, with a more of a gourmand aspect from the chestnut, and you're still getting kind of that chocolatey sweet smell that you get from Gentleman Eau de Parfum and even something like Dior Homme Intense. But again, this is just a boozier chestnut take on that DNA, and it's done in an incredible way. Great performer, great quality. Brings a nice little twist to this DNA that is familiar to a lot of us. And if I had to pick, this is probably right now my favorite flanker out of the entire line. Now we're kind of stepping it back down to a little bit more of an affordable price range here yet again with Lacoste L'Homme Intense. So this one has orange, it has rhubarb, there's some lemon, there's some woods in here. Oh, it smells so nice, so creamy and fresh. And this is going to be one of those fresher ones I was kind of talking about here. Generally, I see this one as a perfect quintessential spring scent, you know, because it has that fresh, bright pop, but then some of that sweetness as well to kind of cater to the swinging temperatures of springtime. And it just has this kind of lively smell. Everything's coming back to life and thawing out. So I kind of see this as a spring scent. But ultimately, it's one that smells more expensive than it is. It's unique. There isn't really much else out there that smells like this. And I think it's a great fit if you're on a budget. Now, if you're a fan of tobacco, I recommend you check this one out. If you're on a budget, there are a ton of top tier tobacco fragrances on the niche end of things. Don't get me wrong. I'm not doing videos like this to dog on niche when, again, I have a bunch of it that I've purchased myself. The bulk majority of my niche collection I have spent the money on. And so while I do love them, there are also some amazing alternatives for prices well under $100, and this is one of them. It's Robert Graham Fortitude, $58, 100 mil right now. Retails for like $92, something like that. It's got tobacco, patchouli, tonka bean. Primarily, it's all about that tobacco first and foremost. You know, that's kind of what they were going for here and focusing on. Nice red pipe tobacco, sweet, and it's just going to be a nice affordable one for you. Spice Bomb Extreme is another one that could have been in here, albeit it is done to death on my channel because I love it. I wanted to feature something else, and this is about half the price of Spice Bomb Extreme. You can't go wrong with this one. Great performer, great quality, something unique, awesome tobacco. All right, we'll go back to another vanilla scent because I really like them, and I know you guys really enjoy them as well in the fall and winter time. Now, this one came out in 1999, nothing new here. A lot of you guys probably have it or have had it at some point, but ultimately, for me, it's still one that holds up in a video like this. Givenchy Pie. So again, going back to what I was saying a minute ago, ton of top tier, amazing niche vanilla scents out there. Some of my favorite niche vanillas happen to be niche, or some of my favorite vanillas also happen to be niche, okay? So I really like them, but they're expensive, and not everyone wants to throw around that type of money. So again, if you're on a budget and you want another option for an affordable vanilla scent, Givenchy Pie has been tried, tested, and proven the past 20 plus years, and it's a great one. Vanilla, benzoin mixture, very nice combination, very popular combination. Generally, they are used in tandem. tonka bean in here as well. And one thing I really like is the almond accord that's used in here. You know, almond is something that's used in L'Homme Ideal fragrances by Guerlain, the original, the Eau de Parfum, the Extreme, even Cool, right? Cologne as well, I believe. Just pretty much all of them. Probably Sport as well. It's all about the almond. Gives it kind of another dusty, powdery, different nature that sets fragrances apart when they use almond. And this one has it here. I think it's very unique for what it is. It's a great wearable vanilla with actually a little bit of a fresh brightness as well. So it could kind of be used going into spring and into fall and that sort of thing. It's just a really nice one for an affordable price. Kind of following a similar trend here, talking about dusty, powdery fragrances. This is probably going to be on the highest extreme that you can go for a man's dusty, powdery scent, or at least a fragrance that is marketed for men in particular on that range. It's Prada Luna Rossa Black. So for a lot of people, this could be unisex, and I do think it 100% could be. There's nothing about this one that screams a masculine cologne. So this could go either direction, anywhere. Whoever wants to wear it, they can. But at the end of the day, Prada is marketing this as a men's scent. Really, though, this is all about the tonka bean and amber. Tonka bean first. I mean, that's basically it. Dusty, powdery, sweet, a little bit of a sticky sweetness from the amber. It's not going to be for everybody. You know, this is powdery to the extreme, and a lot of guys will hate this. So make sure you're keeping that in the back of your mind when you go into this one. Ultimately, I love it. I think it's great. It's simple, but it's great. And, you know, at the end of the day, there's so many niche scents out there that are also very simplistic, but they're perfected. And I think that's what this is, and that makes it worth it. Next up, BVLGARI Man Wood Essence. So you guys hear me talk about wood neroli all the time, and that's a great one as well. You know, it's had its rounds here on the channel. But what about wood essence? Is this one good? Absolutely it is. The atomizer can be a little bit hard sometimes. The atomizers on these are very narrow. Same with Man in Black, right? All the same bottle. Narrow atomizers. But the scent itself is really nice. It's all about the woods, the cypress, the cedar wood. You get this bright lemon zest off the top initially. And one of my favorite parts that you do actually pick up on the more you smell it is this citruses with sugar accord that is officially listed. And believe it or not, you do kind of get this sugary sweet citrus off the top as it transitions into a very aromatic cypress base with cedar wood. It's a really nice, well done, masculine scent, very wearable, great for kind of the transitional seasons, just mild temperatures, comfortable temperatures, you know, 60, 70 degrees outside, somewhere around in there. Really, really nice one that has a lot of quality for not a terrible price. Okay, running down to the end, one of my personal favorites. This is one that it's been through the ringer. It's been hyped to the moon and back. And for me, it's just a personal scent anymore. It's an evening before bedtime scent that I primarily use it for. It's La Nuit de l'Homme. So there is something truly special about this one that a lot of you guys have probably discovered as well, or maybe you hate it, so maybe not to you. But there's a reason why this one did so well and continues to do so well. There's a reason why there have been so many countless flankers to this. And some clones are inspired by scents as well on both ends of the world there, designer and niche. But it's really, it brought cardamom into the mainstream. It brought cardamom into the designer spotlight. And whenever someone talks about a cardamom scent, this is probably what they think of first. And it is for me. Even though while I have some amazing ones, Memo, African Leather, fantastic cardamom, this one still pops into my mind first. It's very comforting, very smooth, very warm, sexy, and spicy. I just love this stuff. I think it's great. And I think this could seriously be tweaked maybe a little bit, bottled into some niche and sold for hundreds of dollars, and I think it would still do well, and that's saying something. And last up, we'll end this on a freshie, so if you guys are in a warm climate somewhere right now, this will kind of be something you can play around with if you don't have it. It's Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Forever. So this is all about the grapefruit, violet leaf, and ozonic notes here. And it's one of the most photorealistic, best designer grapefruits that I have smelled. And that is saying something because that note is used heavily in fragrances all over the place at all different price ranges. I think this one's great. You know, it's versatile. It's a good performer. This brought the light blue DNA back to life because I do think they were really starting to fizzle out with their flankers that they were putting out. This and Italian Love are amazing. 10 out of 10s for me personally, but I like citrus and I like it to hit hard like this one does. Similar deal where I think if this was tweaked a little bit and bottled into a niche bottle and sold for hundreds of dollars, I think it would work. The reason why I say tweak a little bit was because obviously now it would just be a clone, right? But take this premise and give it their own little extra twist, bottle it into something that's much more expensive, and I think it would still do great because this DNA is something special. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. 10 affordable designer fragrances that crush the most expensive niche scents out there. If you guys are on a budget but you still want to smell good and have a premium feel, these are gonna be for you. Links will be down below. That's gonna do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.